Hello Aries, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we're going to look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it, the concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section will be looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, especially if you're a cross-watcher, just know that the whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, take what helps, leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Aries, let's see what we've got. We're going to start with overall energy through oracle cards, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. So let's look, Aries, at your energy toward the person you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. This is Aries energy toward the person they are dealing with. Commitment. So this is what you're desiring and what you're providing. I feel like you are very committed. Where are? Yeah, because then you have someone who's unhappy and then inconsistencies. Okay, so I can't tell if this is a past connection or one you're currently dealing with. Just take it as it resonates, but I feel like you were or are very, very committed to this person, despite the fact that I feel like you're not super happy in this connection. Not that like you have never been or that you're not sometimes, but with this inconsistencies, I feel like there's probably some highs and lows. Like things feel good sometimes, but then not so good other times. And, you know, whether it's arguments or their behavior, whatever the case might be. I just feel like there's this energy of being very strongly committed to them, but maybe not feeling as if you're experiencing that same commitment in return. Now, when I talk about commitment, it's not just about loyalty necessarily. Like, sure, it is, but it's also about, someone who is showing up for you, who is communicating clearly, who is putting in the effort. Like, it's not always just about infidelity. Like, it can also just be like this person isn't, providing the same energy that I am, or like there's a lack of reciprocation. So I do feel like there's an energy of not being really happy with where things are at, maybe not being happy with the level of commitment that things are at too, like desiring deeper commitment or more commitment from them. But I do feel like you are also very committed to them. So let's see, what does this person have going on toward you, Aries? Second option. So there's an energy of treating you like an option here. But yet the feelings are mutual. That's confusing. They have feelings for you, yet they're treating you like an option. And then they have you don't think of me. So I feel like it's hard for them to believe that you do love and care about them in the way that you do. It's almost like they're like, you don't think about me, like you don't care about me. And you're like, but everything that I do and say like shows that I do. So it's interesting because it kind of feels like this person has some insecurities that are at the wheel. It's almost like they have feelings for you because they obviously do if the feelings are mutual. Like I feel like that's for sure. But yet the commitment isn't there. The action isn't there. There's no backing up those feelings. But it's almost from a place of insecurity. It's like maybe this person likes being chased. I don't know. I don't know, but I definitely feel like there's something going on, something we need to take a look at. So let's look deeper. Truth of this connection between Aries and the person they are dealing with. Truth of this connection. What does Aries need to know in order to move forward in alignment with their higher self? Ignoring the pain, never again, which the never again card is a cycle that needs to be broken. Ignoring the pain is an indication that, okay, sometimes when we fear losing someone or we fear pushing people away, we will kind of almost downplay our feelings, or like both positive and negative. Like we'll be like, oh, well, you know, I don't really need these things that I desire, or we'll even say, oh, the way that they're treating me poorly, like that's not that big of a deal. Like we'll almost like downplay the way that we feel to try to keep somebody in our life, because we don't want to lose people that we love. We don't want to lose people that we care about. So it kind of feels like there's this energy of like downplaying certain things, like downplaying what you need, and then also downplaying like almost justification in a way of their actions or of their behaviors. Now, I get why. But I also feel like this cycle is keeping you from being able to have and receive the love that you are truly desiring and craving here. So I don't know what the heck is going on here. I mean, it's obvious. There's obviously a cycle. It's a cycle of like you not getting the level of commitment that you deserve, or effort or energy that you deserve. You know, kind of being treated like an option, because you're not an option, Aries. You're a choice. And what I mean by that is like someone either is going to choose you or they're not. And I think that it's hard because when we are treated like an option, we wonder like, well, why are they not choosing me, or why are they not, why am I not good enough for them? When in reality, it very rarely has anything to do with us and everything to do with the person that we're dealing with. When somebody has a lot of insecurity, like they're going to push love away. They're going to, close themselves off to it. They're going to, they're going to like the game more than they like actually settling into a connection. So there's so many things that could be at play here. But let's look at the overall theme of this. Connection specifically for Aries. What does Aries need to know about it in order to move forward in alignment with their higher self? My face is really itchy. I was loving on my dog before I did this reading, and I feel like I have dog hair everywhere. Like everywhere. All right, advice card for Aries, synchronicity. So there's some, to me, ego, optimism, synchronicity. Synchronicity to me, with the 4-4 specifically, is very much about like divine guidance and divine protection. Synchronicity is a form of divine guidance. And I feel like specifically in this connection, I feel like there is some divine protection at play. But then you have ego and optimism, which is kind of interesting because I feel like those really contradict each other. It's like there's this optimism that things are going to change, this outlook that eventually like things are going to get better, that eventually this person is going to show up, they're going to be what you need, whatever the case is. But yet your ego, and I feel like your ego is keeping you stuck in that cycle, even though your soul is trying to protect you from getting hurt in a way. So I don't know. It's like this war between what you deserve and what you desire. Not that you can't have both. I feel like I need to rephrase that, because I'm not saying you deserve less than you desire. I'm saying you might actually deserve more than you desire. Okay. I feel like this ego and optimism card, I feel like we're going to come back to that. I feel like we're going to dive way more into what that really means with tarot, which we are going to jump into right now. So let's look, Aries, at your side of this. Someone is unhappy with commitment. This is Aries' side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. the Queen of Cups, the Emperor, and the Eight of Swords. See, I feel like you're showing up as this Queen of Cups. Sure, you could be dealing with water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but I actually feel like this is your energy in this connection. Very much a caretaker, very compassionate, very loving, very understanding, like always there for them. And I feel like but it's like you never get that in return. There's the Knight of Cups in reverse. I'm not going to take it because it doesn't feel like I'm supposed to, but I feel like, because with this Eight of Swords, it's almost like feeling trapped. Not in the connection necessarily. Like, I feel like you want to be in the connection, but feeling trapped in how things are. Wanting more out of this. Wanting reciprocation or effort from this person. But then you have the Strength in reverse. There's the Seven of Pentacles. Aries, I feel like you're loyal, like, to a fault almost. So, Queen of Cups, Emperor, Eight of Swords, Strength in reverse, Seven of Pentacles, Justice in reverse. And you're frustrated. You have a right to be frustrated, for sure. Because I definitely feel like, in general, you're not getting what it is that you need. And I mean that on a lot of different levels. Like, maybe emotionally, maybe, like, the literal, like, physical support. You know, like, anytime they need you, they call you, like, you're there. But when that's not returned. So, but yet, I feel like you're holding on because, and I get why, because you're waiting for things to change. You're waiting for things to get better. You're like, well, maybe this isn't, I'm not happy now, or this isn't what I want right now, but maybe things will be better when this person XYZ. When they make these changes, when they do this, when they do that, after this, when we get engaged, when we have a baby. Like, I don't know. It's just like waiting for some point in the future, but yet feeling trapped in how things are. So unhappy with how things are, but wanting things to be different and feeling like if things were different, then things would be better. But it's hard because you are, straight up right now, accepting less than what you deserve. Like, where things are at right now, like, this is not what you deserve. But I also feel like you know that, which is why I feel like there's this frustration, but almost like this brushing it off, this justification of it. It's like, oh, it's okay, or like letting it slide, or which, and I said this in the Leo reading too, in kind of a different context, but I feel like that's very unlike you. I feel, Aries, like it's unlike you to kind of just like brush things off. Not that I think Aries get a bad rep for being really reactive. I don't necessarily feel like that stereotype is all that accurate, but I do feel like, kind of that strong-headed, like in a good way, like this Emperor energy. You stand up for yourself, you're very in control of things, but like in this connection, for some reason, like it kind of feels like this person's your weakness. And not that you are weak, and not that you should feel weak, but I do feel like it's like you have these feelings for them, or this empathy for them that makes you kind of let certain things slide that like you never would with other people. And I think that what is even more interesting is it's like I do feel that you're aware that you're not getting what you deserve here. I feel like you're very aware of that. Like, you're like, I do need more from this person. I want more. And I feel like it's like you're like, maybe when we get to this point, things will change. Or maybe, if they could just commit, or if they could just do that. But it's like you're waiting for this to happen while accepting less than what you deserve. And whatever you accept is what you receive. So if you're accepting less than what you deserve, you're going to continue to receive less than what you deserve. And that's where I feel there's a cycle, with the never again that needs to be broken. So, loyal to a fault. Loyalty is important. We want to be loyal to other people for sure, especially the people we love and care about. But we want to make sure that loyalty toward other people doesn't require an abandonment of self. Because when we are then required to self-abandon in order to be loyal toward others, that's where codependency starts to creep in, and just unhealthy, unsustainable dynamics start to creep in. So let's keep going. Let's see what we got. This person's energy toward you. The feelings, so they have feelings, but it's just like there's this just completely, it's very passive. It's very passive energy. This person toward you, Aries. It could be like, you could be dealing with someone who is avoidant. like has an avoidant attachment style. Just in general struggles with vulnerability, commitment, all the stuff that's required for healthy, sustainable relationships. This person toward you, Aries. The Page of Wands. I literally heard childish. Sun in reverse. There's that ego. The Emperor in reverse with the Death. So this person needs control. They need control in their relationships. There's the Tower. Whoa. The Queen of Swords in reverse. Oh my gosh. It's like this person is so closed off. They're so closed off. And it's hard because, like, I feel like you're the total opposite. Like, not that you, like, wear your heart on your sleeve. Maybe you do if that resonates with you. But, like, I feel like you're very open. And then I just feel like this person is very closed. Like, almost, like, cold in a way. But it's because they need this control. Because vulnerability requires releasing control, right? Because, I mean, essentially vulnerability is the opposite of control. Because it requires you to be in a place where you are kind of allowing yourself to trust, allowing yourself to surrender, and that is the opposite of control. You know, control is staying in a position where you know the outcome, basically. Like being in a place where you know exactly how things are going to feel, exactly what it's going to look like, and that's always ego. Your ego always craves control. And when somebody struggles to believe that they're deserving of the love that they desire, and then they start to receive it from somebody, because they do feel like you show up with really, really wonderful energy in this, for whatever collective I'm speaking to. When somebody doesn't believe they're worthy or deserving of the love that they're receiving, well, what they're going to do is they're going to build a wall up, and they're going to push it away. They're going to say, oh, don't give that to me. I don't deserve it. I'm not lovable. It's interesting because then in turn, I feel like that makes you feel unlovable, makes you feel undeserving. But I feel like you're trying to love them into loving themselves so that they can love you. But what that's done is kept you stuck in not being loved the way that you love. And I think that that's where the universe is trying to guide you in a different direction. It's not saying that this reading or this connection is like screwed and there's no chance. But I do feel like there's an adjustment that needs to be made. Something's got to change here, because it's obvious that you're not getting what you need. Like, we've been saying that since the beginning, but it's also obvious that this person's energy isn't equipped to give you what it is that you need. I mean, if they're closed off, if they're in this place of control, if they're driven by ego, then they're going to be basically doing the opposite of whatever it is that you need, which is vulnerability and commitment and deeper connection, right? So it's hard because you might see that potential, and maybe even you've experienced glimpses of it. But the inconsistency that I feel like you're experiencing from them is whenever things start to get deep or like serious or start to elicit certain feelings in them, I feel like that makes them very uncomfortable. So they build a wall, they close off. It's like shutting you out almost, which to them is it's a defense mechanism. It's a protection mechanism, because our ego, its primary goal is survival. Our ego just wants to keep us alive, which is important because it's what keeps us from stepping in front of a bus. But sometimes it makes decisions for us in terms of like how we interact with other people in relationships. If your ego, is used to the loneliness and the isolation and the lack of love that you're used to, it will put you in situations where you're experiencing that lack. So, even if someone shows up and gives you all of this love that you've always been looking for, this love, unconditional love and empathy and compassion and care, but you don't like yourself enough to believe that you're worthy of it, that you're deserving of it, even if you crave it, even if you desire it, even if you have feelings for that person, you're going to ruin it. You're going to sabotage it, which is why people can only love other people to the extent to which they love themselves, because the extent to which they can receive love is going to reflect the extent to which they can give it. And I feel like when it comes to where this person is at, they're so closed off because they're so afraid of that vulnerability, which that vulnerability is required in order for you to have what it is that you need in this connection. And I keep going back to the word childish. It's almost like there's this need to grow, maybe grow up literally, like maybe they're young, but also like to grow. Like I feel like there's some growth that's needed in this person. A lot of people don't grow. A lot of people just get older. And growth requires looking at yourself through a very honest lens with it, which is something that a lot of people don't want to do because it's hard and it's uncomfortable, and nobody wants to look at the things that are wrong with them. It's always easy to point fingers and to blame. It's also always easy to just act from that subconscious without having any kind of conscious awareness over what you're doing. And I feel like that's where, like, why this person's energy and behavior is so confusing, is I do feel like they have feelings. I feel like they do love and care about you. But it's to the capacity to which they believe they're worthy of it. And that's not to say that they don't love and care about you enough, or that you don't have enough value for them. It's like they're not capable of being more than they are right now. It's like what they're showing you is where they're at. And I feel like maybe you know that. And again, if you're coming, from this place of being very empathetic, you're probably like, oh, that's okay. Like, it's fine, whatever. But it's not fine. And I feel like that's what you're needing to look at. Like, what are you like kind of brushing past in the name of empathy or in the name of understanding? And how are you being more empathetic and understanding toward this person than you are toward yourself, and the fact that you are unhappy and your needs aren't being met? Because at some point, and this is something that I really learned, and it's hard, because going back to what I said, most people don't grow, a lot of people just get older, right? So most people are allowing their trauma to be an excuse for their behavior. They're basically saying, oh, well, I've been hurt before, therefore, I don't know how to give and receive love healthily, or, I have, unhealthy behaviors, or whatever the case is. But your trauma, and this goes for everyone, this isn't just this person, this isn't just you, your trauma cannot be an excuse. When you get to a certain age, your trauma is not your fault, but it is your healing. But your healing is your responsibility. I totally butchered that. But when people aren't taking accountability for the role that they play in their relationships, you're going to feel as if it's your job to fix them, save them, heal them, help them, love them, so that they can be whatever it is that you need them to be. But we can't save, fix, or heal other people. That's something that other people have to make the decision to do. So I feel like you're needing to kind of flip the mirror a little bit and look at, like, what is this trying to push you to do? How is this trying to push you to heal, to grow, to no longer accept less? Because this isn't, I feel like this goes without saying, but like, this isn't fair to you. Like, you do deserve more. Now, you might question that. You might second guess that. You're like, well, this person deserves love. This person deserves, all that I have to give. You're probably right. But not to the extent to which it harms you. Self-abandonment is not required in order to experience love. But what we've been taught that it is, especially if we've, often had to perform for the love of the people that love us, or we've had to be, we've had to make sure that we're always making other people happy, but our happiness was never prioritized. Like, we, throughout our life may have learned that, like, our happiness is a product of how much we can make other people happy. But that's not true, and that's not fair. Sure, what you bring to the table has value, and that is important. You want to make sure that you're showing up, in the best way that you can for others. But again, not to the extent to which you're harming yourself, and understanding that you deserve all that you have to give. All the love, the care, the compassion, the support, all of that. But if you're used to giving it and not receiving it, you might find yourself in situations where you're almost okay with giving it but not receiving it. But that's not fair to you, and that's going to keep you in a place of feeling very frustrated. Resentment builds there. That's where we start to honestly view ourselves as more and more unworthy, because we're like, well, I'm loving and I'm caring for this person as much as I can, but it doesn't seem to matter because they're not reciprocating it. But you can't love people into change. You can't shame people into change. You can't make other people change, because people don't change for us. They change when they realize that they need to. And that's when, for them, when staying the same is more painful than change. So if they're allowed to just stay the same and receive everything that you have to give, why would they change if change is more painful? Because your ego hates change. The ego absolutely hates change. It wants, like I said, the same and what's predictable. So I feel like this is a need to kind of flip the script a little bit and step away from the question, how can I be with this person needs, and kind of step into the question of like, sure, I want to be what this person needs, but how can I make sure I'm not accepting less than what I need? Because that's where healthy relationships grow, from that place of being able and willing to be honest and vocal about when you're unhappy or when you're needing more. But that also requires the person that you're dealing with to be able to self-reflect and recognize that they do need to do better, that there is growth that's needed. But if you're dealing with someone who doesn't want to grow, that's where things get hard. But in between this connection, you have ignoring the pain with never again. I'm going to dive deeper into this reading, looking at the deeper purpose and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Thank you so much, Aries, as always, for your support of my channel, especially to those of you who just, I feel like this, this community that I've built here, like some of you have been with me since the very beginning, and it's so heartwarming. But anyway, thank you to those of you who just joined too. I'm very, very grateful as always, and I wish you absolutely nothing but love and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Aries.